In this video, we're going to learn 5 things you can do in Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Stay tuned. So Harvard Square is, if you will, the heart of Cambridge, Massachusetts in the eyes of many, especially those visiting from other places. And Harvard Square itself starts at the intersection where Massachusetts Avenue, Brattle Street, and JFK Street meet. And it's at this intersection as well that there is the entrance to the underground MBTA Red Line T station at Harvard Square. And again, Harvard Square is a place that is not by definition square with defined boundaries. Rather, it's known as a place that begins at this intersection described and then sort of moves out in all directions at once. And so the best way to discover Harvard Square is to walk around. So this is number 5 on my list of 5 things to do in Harvard Square. And this is perhaps the most important thing you can do, because by walking around, you're just going to get a good sense of Harvard Square as a place. So the main streets to consider exploring are Massachusetts Avenue, JFK Street, which runs from the Brattle Street, JFK Mass Ave intersection all the way down to the Charles River, Brattle Street, Mount Auburn Street, and Church Street. So these streets will give you a good sense of Harvard Square. And in today's world with Google Maps, it's hard to get lost. So I'm sure you can always find where you are in relation to the main intersection and the Harvard Square T station. But it's just great to walk around Harvard Square to discover the various restaurants, shops, and services that define it as a place. And so I encourage you to walk around. Number 4 on my list is to get a coffee. And there's ample opportunity to get coffee in Harvard Square. Places that you can consider include Bluestone Lane on Brattle Street, Blue Bottle behind the Harvard Lampoon off Mount Auburn Street. The ones I like are local. There's Flower Bakery and Cafe close to the heart of Harvard Square on Mount Auburn Street. And then in addition, further down Mount Auburn Street is my favorite, which is Darwin's Limited. Stephen and Isabel Darwin live in Cambridge, and they have multiple Darwin's cafes in Cambridge. And the flagship original Darwin's is here on Mount Auburn Street on the doorstep of Harvard Square. So if you want to support a local business and experience an authentic Cambridge coffee shop, I encourage you to walk down to Darwin's. Number 3 on my list is to browse at a bookstore. So once upon a time, there were many more bookshops in Harvard Square, but there are still a few. In the heart of Harvard Square, with its main entrance on Massachusetts Avenue at the main intersection, which is Harvard Square, is the Harvard Coop, which is the flagship bookstore for the university. And this university bookshop went through a renovation recently. It's on multiple levels. Look, I'm not terribly keen on the fact that it feels more like a souvenir shop with sweatshirts, t-shirts, and whatnot on offer at the entrance, and less like a true big bookstore, which it once was. But it's still a flagship bookstore with a lot of books and worth checking out. My favorite is the Harvard Bookstore on Massachusetts Avenue in the direction of Boston. And it's across from Harvard Yard. And I think probably I've spent more time in this bookstore than any other in the world in my life. I find it hard to walk by without going in. They have a great selection. They have a friendly staff. They feature local writers. They have special events to bring people in for book signings. It's just such a great bookstore, and there's a really nice energy in the store with people shopping and browsing, and it just feels so vital, and it's such a great shop. So be sure to check out Harvard Bookstore on Massachusetts Avenue. Sitting right behind it is the Grolier Bookshop, a bookstore dedicated to poetry. And it's a very special store. If you're into poetry, you'll want to check out the Grolier. Number 2 on my list of things to do in Harvard Square is to visit the Richard and Susan Smith Campus Center, which is the Harvard Campus Center right on Massachusetts Avenue across from Harvard Yard, right near the heart of Harvard Square and the T station. And this campus center has an outside cafe-style seating area, which is a super place to sit and watch the passing parade of people in season. Oftentimes, people are set up to play chess here, And it's just such a great people watching venue. Inside are some food venues and some indoor seating areas and landscaped courtyards. And it's just got a nice vibe as it's a center of Harvard student life. You'll get a good sense or feeling for students at Harvard if you walk through this very large campus center, which starts on the Massachusetts Avenue side facing the yard and the square, and extends all the way to Mount Auburn Street on the opposite side. So it's just an interesting indoor outdoor campus center and well worth checking out. And then number one on my list of things to do in Harvard Square is to have lunch or dinner somewhere. There's lots of places to choose from. I'm very fond of Toscano, an Italian restaurant on Brattle Street that is down a bit towards the Harvard Graduate School of Education. And Toscano has these wonderful picture windows that can be opened in season for fresh air. And they have a very lovely bar area and a nice dining area. It feels very festive. It's got a good crowd at all hours, and it's got excellent service. It's just such a nice night out. I've enjoyed dining at Toscano over the years. And if you get a seat at the window, you can watch the passing parade of people on the sidewalk in Harvard Square. So look, Harvard Square is a special place. It's gone through a lot of change. It's going through a lot of change. I think it's probably going to be the case that this is always the way it is with Harvard Square. There are those who will, wax poetic about places gone by in Harvard Square. And I've known it for a quarter century. I've certainly seen it change. There are things that come and go that you wish were still with us, but it is an active, lively center. And by being across the street from Harvard University, if you will, it's likely to be with us in some fashion forever as a place people come to gather, to shop, to dine, to experience Harvard student life. As it happens, my own Compass real estate office is in Harvard Square. We're at 1100 Massachusetts Avenue on the first floor, so we're on the further end of Harvard Square in the direction of Boston. And I welcome the opportunity to connect with you there as you give thought to buying the right home or selling for the best price in Cambridge or neighboring Somerville. My name is Charles Cherney, and I'm a top residential real estate agent here in Cambridge. I welcome the opportunity to connect with you. I hope you find this invitation to experience Harvard Square useful and that you'll do the things I've recommended. I think you'll be happy if you do. So come to Harvard Square and check it out. Take care.